won't be there, but y'all keep it up. We appreciate it. But we ain't coming. But we love you. But we ain't doing it.
Welcome back to Peace of Mind, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're rested. I just want to process a little bit of what I observed about this protest April 5th compared to 2020. This protest was very much relaxed. I didn't see any means of disrupting the system in this protest. I didn't see people standing in traffic to make sure the system and the status quo was not going about. I didn't see not one police compared to 2020. Not one police. There's no SWAT teams being sent down. Again, very amount of black folks were there. There was very little black people overall. So it was looking more like a barbecue, more like a concert than an actual protest. Because again, the streets, if cars are able to move freely, people are able to get to work freely, it's not really a disruption in the system. If people are able to shop freely, there's not disruption in the system. It's just standing outside. So I just want to get to other people's reaction of the protest overall. And also, have you guys noted any benefits from this protest, from the aftermath? Has there been changes in the system? Let's listen to other perspective and be respectful.
I voted for my own job loss. Like a damn fool. And I ain't ashamed to admit it. I won't do that again.
Hey, 92%. Hey, everybody. I just want to show y'all the activities that's going on out here. It seems like they activated to me. They're not angry enough, but it's coming. They got a little tempo too. I'm loving it. Pretty impressive.
Is not showing up, staying at home, saying, oh, we done our part by voting. Y'all realize this work that has to be done in between elections, right? You have to educate people as to what's going on.
So to answer your question, young man, we as a people have learned from 92%, which means we're out here by ourselves, which also means that when they protest, there's not a lot of fire, shootings, smoke bombs, or gas bombs, spraying people. And we used our voice enough. Now it's time for us to regroup, redirect our energy, and understand what's the next move. It's about getting smarter, not out there working harder. The real question you should be asking yourself, where are the spiritual teachers and leaders of America? Why are they so silent? Does it remind you of the Pharisees and Sadducees of the day when Jesus walked the earth? They're so concerned about their temples, but not about the people. So I would rethink your spiritual journey and what church you're in and start getting in tune with the Christ consciousness within. That is how we change. That is how we reorganize this community. It's by reclaiming our internal sovereignty, stop looking outwardly change, and start changing within our community. Because when we change, everything around us change. And at an individualized expression of that, when I change, the things I look at change, which ultimately then they become different. They change.
Yo, I just want to shout out the 92%. I'm so proud of y'all for minding y'all business yesterday. I'm so glad. They showed up. They showed out. I hope we get the traction that it need. But I'm just so happy we minded our business. We did our job. We did our job at the polls. This was their time to show up and show out. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. So congratulations and kudos to them. But shout out to you guys for minding our business and showing them that we are, black women, we are staying home. Get somebody else to do it, and that's what we did, and they did a good job, so keep it up.
Let me pause my movie. Let me just point out, of all of the over 1,200 protests we done seen, right? They're saying over a few million people have participated in protests across the nation. Let me just say that out of all of these protests, I have not seen not one person getting tear gassed. I have not seen anybody getting womp womp with the batons. I have not seen any lines of the SWAT team lined up approaching people that are marching the streets. As a matter of fact, I heard that in Dallas, the police shut down the roads to allow the people to walk over there where the JFK incident happened, the grassy knoll and the depository. Yeah, they shut down the streets to allow the protests to continue, to allow the people to walk on down them roads. So when you hear black people saying, the ones who decided to protest in other ways, like protesting by not being on the front lines, remember that this is why. Had it not been majority white people marching, would that have still been the outcome? Like, serious question. And don't lie, you know the answer. And this is why we said that this wasn't for us. It is okay that some people went. Okay, that's fine. But it is great that majority of us stayed home and watched TV, while simultaneously having already been doing protesting through other avenues. Because y'all act like marching is the only way to protest. Just remember, this is why the outcome would have been very different. And we all know it. And if we're being real, it's not our jobs. It is not our jobs to dismantle white Christian nationalism and white supremacy. We didn't create it, bitch. We did not create it. We don't benefit from it. So it's not our jobs to dismantle. It has to be dismantled from within by the very people that created it and benefit from it inherently. That's them same people marching. As you should. I'm so happy. I'm so happy y'all showed the fuck up while we sat the fuck down.
So if you know me, you know that I will heed to the assignment, but I'm going to be a little nosy. I was out doing my workout, y'all. I promise that's all I was doing. They told me to sit my black ass down, and I promise you I am. I'm just here walking around doing my workout, as you can see. Ain't no marching for me with these folks. Like Marshawn Lynch said, I'm just here so I won't get fined. So if anyone picks on my IP address, I'm not here to march. I am here to work out. I'm doing my shit. I do want to say, as I stand in front of the Capitol, black folks got the assignment. There are maybe 3, 4 that I've seen. 3 or 4, maybe 5 black folks here. Y'all got the assignment. Congratulations. I don't know if anybody has seen The American Gangster. And there was a cop who was bad. And he was trying to tell the cop that was trying to go after Frank Lucas. And there was a scene played by Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is the good cop. And he said, the other cop said to him, he said, leave Frank Lucas alone. And y'all got the assignment. I am so proud of y'all black folks. Leave Frank Lucas alone. Let these people do their thing. I came because I promise you, I wasn't coming to march. I'm coming to work out and to be nosy. But I'm leaving right now. Leave Frank Lucas alone.
So yesterday was historic, right? We've seen that. And I know there are a lot of people who are feeling the energy and the high from what was done and wondering, what is next? Where do we go from here? Because on some level, you have to know that one protest is not going to make major changes. But that should not discourage you, because now you see with your own eyes, physically, that there are millions of people with the same grievances, millions of people with the same concerns about this country. So what do you do next? What do you do with all of that energy? I'll tell you. You point it at your locally elected officials. Now, before I continue, do I mean violence? Absolutely not. What you need to do is take those concerns and continuously be a nuisance to the people that we elected into Congress, our representatives, our state representatives, these pieces of our government have a much, much more effect on our everyday life. I listened to part of a speech that Cory Booker gave at a protest in Montclair, New Jersey. One of the things that he said was that change does not come from Washington. Change comes to Washington. If we want to build a democracy that we would like to see benefit us in the future, benefit us in the long run, we build it from the bottom up, okay? The president sits in a seat and in a position where he can remain insulated from everything that's going on, okay? He can say, I don't give a fuck, I don't care, and not much can be done to him in the immediate future. But your local Congress people, the people who sit in that House of Representatives, the people who should be the true authorities of our legislation in this government, they can be convinced. Now, I know there are a lot of Republicans who are saying they're not listening to people. They're putting their hands in their ears, closing their eyes. They're going, la, 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 I don't care. But if you continuously speak to them, if you continuously put the pressure on your local officials, they don't have a choice. They need to listen, because they're the ones who have to see you every day. They're the ones who have to interact with people who they probably grew up with, who've probably known them for years and said, I trust you to represent us on the national stage. And by not listening to you and capitulating to that man in the White House, they are turning on their own neighbors. This is the message that needs to go to our local officials. For the first few months, they were afraid of the muskrat and his money. For the first few months, they were afraid of Donald Trump and the power he had over his voting base. That reality is broken. And while, again, there are radical MAGA sycophants who are still holding on to this idea that nothing is going to change, nothing really mattered from yesterday, I'm telling you, if the more and more people continuously talk to their local officials, continuously talk to their Congress people, we will see a change. So remember, yesterday was a start, and we will build from this, okay? Take that energy and keep calling your representatives, keep speaking to them. Let them know that millions of people are not okay with what they want to do with this country. And millions of people will be on their neck if they let this man in the White House do what he wants to do with our futures and our children's futures. That is what is next.
Y'all, these white folks said, fuck April 5th. They got something else to do. And it's more behind whatever. They said April 5th ain't shit to them.